It's the Rondo Allegro from Edward Lalo's Symphonie Espagnole with Vadim Repin on the violin and the London Symphony Orchestra led by Kent Nagano. Bringing us to 1:39 here on the Jukebox. We also heard from Lisa, writing in beautiful romantic Coburg. Actually calling in with the Abendglocken. That's the Evening Bells by Ivan Rebrov. Hope you're having a fine afternoon. It is 1:39. Let's take another short break and return with, what would those composers do without the wealthy patrons who enabled them to write such beautiful music? In 1782, Leopold Mozart sent his son a letter to ask him to write a new symphony for his friend, Sigmund Hafner, a wealthy Salzburg merchant who was getting ready for his daughter's wedding. And the results of that we'll hear right after this short break.
Hi, it's Mark Wigmore, today from 3 to 7 p.m. on The Oasis. Perrin Leach is the head of the Canadian Opera Company, and we welcome the COC General Director back to the program at 3:30 for a preview of two big productions, The Flying Dutchman and Bizet's Carmen. A very exciting return to in-person opera this season. Plus, we dip into our movie music vault at 5:30 during symphonic soundtracks and the greatest film scores of all time as we celebrate the opening of the 2022 Toronto International Film Festival. All that, the information you need for a Thursday drive and 4 hours of the world's most beautiful music. Join me, Mark Wigmore, beginning at 3 p.m. on The Oasis.
Dark and mysterious with swirling clouds inside.
Each non-traditional diamond is a one-of-a-kind work of art.
By none other than Mother Nature.
Hello?
Callum, are you doing something unauthorized? I have the strange feeling that you're doing something right now that I should know about.
Look at your phone, Michael. I just texted you an ad we're recording. We even included some lines for you.
Okay, got it. Start over.
Dark and mysterious with swirling clouds inside.
Each non-traditional diamond is a one-of-a-kind work of art.
By none other than Mother Nature.
Take a bow, Mother Nature.
Non-traditional diamonds also come in non-traditional shapes.
Come to Spence and see a diamond shaped like a kite.
Come to Spence and see a diamond shaped like a shield.
Come to Spence and see a diamond shaped like a hexagon.
You can even get non-traditional diamonds in traditional shapes.
Round, oval, emerald, and pear.
Come to Spence, Canada's engagement ring heaven.
Spence Diamonds. Wow! Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
Early involvement with music can contribute to a child's intellectual growth.
I can unequivocally assert the validity of that statement.
Ask the trusted experts at Long & McQuaid Musical Instruments about their full line of guitars, strings, brass, woodwinds, drums, and keyboards. Our music lesson centers offer lessons in person or online for all levels, ages, and styles.
I actually feel myself getting smarter.
Long & McQuaid, where the music begins. Go to long-mcquaid.com for details.
It's Air Canada's big worldwide seat sale. Save big on flights to Asia and the Pacific from Thailand to Australia, or visit big European cities. See the biggest attractions in North and South America, or take off to sunny destinations. Save on all destinations and classes of service for travel from September 21st, 2022 to May 31st, 2023. And Aeroplan members can even earn 50% bonus points. Book by September 14th at aircanada.com or contact your travel agent.
Clever women solve the crime every time on Vision TV.
Sister Boniface at your service.
She has a habit of it and wears one. They are the green-fingered Rosemary and Thyme.
So you're a gardener? I love gardening.
Share in the adventures of housewife-turned-investigator Hetty Wainthropp and the sleuth who paved the way, Murder, She Wrote's Jessica Fletcher.
Well, thank you. I'll remember that.
Catch Vision TV's Women of Mystery, Zoomer-aged and sharper than ever. Weeknights starting at 7.
This is Alan Green with breaking news from the Canada News Network. It's official. Karen phytoplankton is the most exciting discovery in Canadian history. Phytoplankton is a plant that is the base nutrient and grown sustainably in the most futuristic garden in the world. Karen is not a meme, but the daughter of Mother Nature. Historians are trying to uncover how this has been hidden from the general public. With the demand of Karen phytoplankton increasing, Karen phytoplankton is on sale for 20% off on the website, thekarenproject.ca. thekarenproject.ca.
Saturday's Lotto 649 draw is the last draw before the new Lotto 649 launch, and all jackpot prizing will be awarded. Get your ticket today.
Helping you focus. This is the new Classical 96.3 FM.
That was Sarah Walker, mezzo-soprano with the London Philharmonic Orchestra and Choir. And that was from numerous people today. Wesley, Violet, George, Sandy, Cindy, everyone keeping the Queen in our thoughts today. And I just received the message now. Breaking news, unfortunately, from Buckingham Palace. The Queen has passed away. Queen Elizabeth II, longest reigning monarch in Britain. Queen Elizabeth II has died in Scotland. Prince Charles is now king. Passed away at the age of 96, a symbol of stability and continuity. Let's shift the tone entirely. This is the Adagio for Strings, music by Samuel Barber. The Adagio for strings, music by Samuel Barber with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. That was Raymond Leppard leading the ensemble and bringing us to 156 here on the Jukebox. We're temporarily halting requests out of the respect for the breaking news. Just learned this a couple minutes ago. Queen Elizabeth II, our queen, the world's oldest, longest-serving head of state, has passed away at the age of 96. And I'm connecting to our Toronto studio. Christine Ross, our news anchor, has come in an hour early to tell us some updates about what's going on.
Yeah.
Hi, Christine.
Hey, how are you doing today? Absolutely some sad news, Daniel. We got the news about, as you said, about 10 minutes ago, confirmed. Not surprising, given the statement from Buckingham Palace early this morning that the Queen was being closely monitored by doctors and that her condition was certainly... It was grave, we now know. Her family has flown in. They were with her. Buckingham Palace says the Queen, Britain's longest reigning monarch, has died. She was 96. In fact, you know, a lot of people in Britain, it was really the only monarch they have ever known. The Prime Minister here in Canada is meeting with his cabinet. They were about to make a big announcement on dental care. That's been pushed back. Presumably, they're now dealing with how to handle this and what they're going to say, because this has a big impact on Canada.
Yes, there must be tributes pouring from all around the world.
Oh,
at the moment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And British monarchy now rules state that a new sovereign will succeed to the throne as soon as his or her predecessor dies. That means that Prince Charles became king immediately upon her death. So within 24 hours of a monarch's death, a new sovereign is proclaimed formally as soon as possible. However, when it was the Queen's turn for her coronation, it was 16 months after her accession on February 16th when her father passed. So we will keep you updated. Tune in at 3 o'clock for the first update. We'll have reaction from pretty well around the world, but of course here in Canada, and we'll bring you details as they come in.
Thank you, Christine. You can, of course, keep following us here on the station. We'll give you updates as soon as we know more information. Also on Zoomer.com. We'll be following this very, very closely. In the meantime, here is the Cello Concerto by Sir Edward Elgar, one of the most elegiac works by any English composer, the slow movement with Alicia Weilerstein.
This hour of the Classical Jukebox with Daniel Nukowski is brought to you by wealthinsurance.com.
I'm Mark Halpern. Get the peace of mind that comes from knowing your family is protected from whatever lies ahead. Learn more at wealthinsurance.com.
Music by Ralph Vaughan Williams with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra and Gwen Hobeek, our violinist there. That was the Lark Ascending in memory of our Queen, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. We offer condolences to the royal family, the entire United Kingdom and Commonwealth over this loss. It is now 2:20 here on the Jukebox. We have many more newscasts, frequent updates coming up on our show today about what's happening. And you're also welcome to visit our website, our sister website, Zoomer.com, for some continued coverage. Zoomer Media's experts have more information and details about what's happening right now with the royal family. All right, we're going to take another short break and continue with the music of Henry Purcell right after this break.
Remember 2008? Markets crashed, fortunes were lost. Do you think it can't happen again? We can show you how to preserve your family's hard-earned money and protect it from too much taxation, no matter what happens in the markets. Enjoy peace of mind. Call me. I'm Mark Halpern, wealthinsurance.com.
Wealthinsurance.com.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
I've got all these bills. Yeah, I need a loan. My equity's building, but it's all in my home.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
You're approved!
Thanks, man. I feel so much better.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
FSRA license 12616.
Buying or selling jewelry or watches, Van Ryck is the place to come.
Alec Van Ryck.
Honesty, integrity, reputation, expertise, professionalism. We can do it.
Van Ryck Jewelers on Eglinton, 1 block east of Yonge.
Your visit to Van Ryck will be a memorable occasion. I guarantee it.
Call Van Ryck today at 416-440-0123 or visit Van Ryck. That's VANRIJK.com.
This back-to-school season, everyone has something to look forward to. Maybe that's a few more summer movie nights with the family. Maybe it's searching new seasons of your favorite shows with Rogers Ignite TV's award-winning voice remote. Right now, get Rogers Ignite Internet and TV bundles starting from $99.99 a month. Visit us online or at a Rogers store today and take advantage of great back-to-school savings. There's never been a better time to save.
Here is Libby Znaimer with the Zoomer Report, the Boomer's Guide to Living Well.
Stop wasting your money on vitamins and other dietary supplements. That is the very clear message from doctors in an editorial published in the Annals of Internal Medicine. It comes in response to 3 large studies that showed multivitamin supplements are not effective at reducing the risk of disease or death, and they may even cause harm. The studies include 2 clinical trials and 1 large review of 27 past trials conducted by the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force. They found no evidence that taking multivitamin and mineral supplements prevents or slows the progress of cognitive decline or chronic conditions like heart disease or cancer. That's especially true for people who have no signs of nutritional deficiency, meaning most supplement users in North America. These findings are in line with previous studies that also found no benefits, as well as a suggestion that beta-carotene, vitamin E, and possibly high doses of vitamin A actually increase death rates. Vitamins are a multi-billion-dollar industry, and half of all Americans pop them regularly. The doctors who did this research are saying, enough, the case is closed. With your tips for living well, I'm Libby Znaimer with the Zoomer Report.
You're listening to New Classical on the New Classical 96.3 FM.
Les Voix Humaines performing Dido's Lament, music by Henry Purcell, right here on the New Classical FM. We're now at 2:26 morning. Her Majesty, our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, who has passed away, the world's oldest, longest-serving head of state. She passed away at her Scottish home, Balmoral Castle. Numerous listeners all morning, all afternoon have expressed concerns about her health, and that was... Boy, just a few minutes ago that we were still unsure about what's going on, and now we know. Of course, since the end of last year, she was forced to withdraw from nearly all her public engagements. We offer our deepest condolences to the royal family, and just temporary not taking requests at the moment until we do this. Walk to the Paradise Garden. This is music by Frederick Delius. The Walk to the Paradise Garden, music by Frederick Delius, with Georg Tintner leading the Symphony Nova Scotia. We're now at 2:39 here on the Jukebox, honoring the life, incredible legacy of our Queen, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. We have more works coming up on our show. Just a couple minutes to go until I close and hand the baton to Mark Wigmore. He'll be taking requests. If you have a special memory with the Queen in mind, he'll be taking requests during his show. The same number, 416-963-5996. You're also welcome to check out Zoomer.com. Our experts there on the royal family have many articles already written and excellent updates, which will be updated continually all day today, tomorrow, all the way throughout to her funeral announcements. Let's take another short break and return with a master of Renaissance polyphony, William Byrd.
Hi, it's Mark Wigmore, today from 3 to 7 p.m. on The Oasis. Perrin Leach is the head of the Canadian Opera Company, and we welcome the COC General Director back to the program at 3:30 for a preview of two big productions, The Flying Dutchman and Bizet's Carmen. A very exciting return to in-person opera this season. Plus, we dip into our movie music vault at 5:30 during symphonic soundtracks and the greatest film scores of all time as we celebrate the opening of the 2022 Toronto International Film Festival. All that, the information you need for a Thursday drive and 4 hours of the world's most beautiful music. Join me, Mark Wigmore, beginning at 3 p.m. on The Oasis.
At CPP Investments, we aren't immune to market volatility, but we are well positioned for the long term. Our 10-year return of 10.8% reflects the strength of our long-term strategy. As a generational investor, we're here to manage the CPP fund in the best interest of 21 million contributors and beneficiaries, today and for decades to come. To learn more, visit cppinvestments.com.
A new school year is the perfect excuse to get new stuff. You already know textbooks are going to be capital E expensive, so why not save on a new phone with Fido's back-to-school deals? We've got the latest devices, mobile plans, and much more to help you get through the semester, whether you're pulling all-nighters in the library or chilling with your friends on campus. And thanks to data overage protection, you'll never have to worry about going over your limit. So what are you waiting for? Go get your back-to-school deal now by visiting us in-store or at fido.ca.
The opera-loving British detective Endeavour Morse is back this fall, Saturdays at 6 p.m. And Vision TV and the new Classical FM want you to watch and win all of the drama. Just watch Endeavour, look for the musical clue, and then go to classicalfm.ca/contests for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Canadian Opera Company's entire opera season. Hit all the high notes. Saturdays at 6 p.m. with Vision TV and the new Classical FM.
With the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite card, you can get 5 times the points on more of the things you love. That means more nights out, more weekend escapes, more living in the moment, more getting lost.
Make a U-turn.
Or maybe less of that. Get more out of life with the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite card. Apply now and get up to 60,000 points. Terms and conditions apply. Visit bmo.com for details.
Mark's This Is Big event is on now. Until September 14th, save up to 60% on a wide selection of styles perfect for fall, including Levi's jeans and clothing at 40% off. Mark's This Is Big event on now at marksandmarks.com.
Wowza deals at Food Basics are so exciting, they'll have you feeling toasty. Get 600-gram Dempster's 12-grain or 675-gram Villaggio Classic, just $2.27 each. Wowza! Only until September 14th. Food Basics, always more for less.
A CARP education moment.
Here's something positive you can do. Hello, I'm Bill Van Gorder, Chief Operating Officer of CARP. You've heard me talk about all the problems we face now, how CARP can be a strong voice for holding governments accountable for healthcare, and why it's important that you be a CARP member. And while it's true, the outlook certainly seems troubling, there is something positive I want to share with you. The possibilities for health and longevity that you have within your own power. I'm talking about walking. Science has proven that walking can improve fitness and circulation, cardiac health, can reduce pain and stress on your joints, and alleviate depression. A lot of benefit for such a simple activity. As much as CARP advocates for important government operating changes, we also want to encourage personal responsibility for health and wellness. So start by walking, get up and get moving. Go to carp.ca/fitness to find out more. Then join or renew your membership today.
Whether you're pulling your weight at work or pulling an all-nighter for school, we're here to help at the New Classical 96.3 FM.
This hour of the Classical Jukebox with Daniel Nukowski has been brought to you by wealthinsurance.com.
I'm Mark Halpern. Preserve your hard-earned money for your family and causes you care about. Learn more at wealthinsurance.com.
Just a beautiful work. Miserere me Deus by the Renaissance composer William Byrd. The Trinity Choir in performance. That's how we close our jukebox for today. A rather mournful tone, honoring, though, the great legacy of our Queen, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. Mark Wigmore has more for you on his show, The Oasis, coming up right after the 3 p.m. news with Christine Ross. She'll also have more updates throughout the rest of the day today. We invite you to check out everythingzoomer.com, which has a whole section. In fact, the whole top of the website now is dedicated to the Queen and her passing. That'll be updated regularly today, tomorrow. So we invite you to visit that, everythingzoomer.com. I'm Daniel Vnukovsky. Thank you for joining me for all your wonderful requests. The request line stays open for any special memory you may have. 416-963-5996. Thanks for listening to the New Classical FM. Beautiful music for a crazy world.
Good afternoon. I'm Christine Ross with the 3 o'clock news on the new Classical FM. Sunny, humid, hot this afternoon, clear and 15 tonight. Same conditions for tomorrow in Toronto now. 26 feels more like 29 with the humidity. The UK's longest reigning monarch has died. Queen Elizabeth II was 96, her death coming hours after Buckingham Palace said she had been placed under medical supervision because doctors became concerned about her health. Reaction begins with Britain's new Prime Minister, Liz Truss.
But Queen Elizabeth II leaves a great legacy. Today, the crown passes, as it has done for more than 1,000 years, to our new monarch, our new head of state, His Majesty, King Charles III.
Elizabeth's 73-year-old son Charles automatically became monarch, even though the coronation might not happen for months. His wife, 75-year-old Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, will be known as Queen Consort, a title that came with the late Queen's blessing after many years of contention since she was Charles' second wife. Charles has issued a statement saying the death of his mother is a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all of the members of my family. The Queen's eldest son describes the late monarch as a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. Governor General Mary Simon offered her deepest condolences to the royal family in a statement on Twitter, saying Canadians will mourn her loss.
As her 12th Canadian Prime Minister, I'm having trouble believing that my last sit-down with her was my last.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada is in mourning and that the Queen's service to Canadians will forever remain an important part of our country's history.
She was our Queen for almost half of Canada's existence, and she had an obvious, deep, and abiding love and affection for Canadians. She served us all with strength and wisdom for 70 years.
Meantime, Doug Ford says the Queen taught the people the true meaning of selfless service. In a statement, the Premier says the monarch was respected for her sense of duty and commitment to charity. Ford says the Queen had a special place in her heart for Canada. The Premier expressed his condolences to King Charles and wished him great success as he ascends to the throne. Long live the King, Ford wrote in his statement. Charles is also set to take over as Canada's new head of state, but at least one royal expert says the new king nevertheless faces a daunting challenge in establishing himself in a country that's become skeptical of the monarchy, leading Libby Znaimer on our sister station Zoomer Radio's Fight Back to ask Zoomer Magazine editor-in-chief and publisher Suzanne Boyd a question that many ask.
Perhaps this would be a moment for Canada to become a republic.
Is the sentiment here, though? I mean, is it strong enough? And every time I've talked to any people who understand the constitutionality of it, they say it's just too complicated to unwind it all. Like, it would be such an expensive upheaval, a years-long undertaking. So really, is the spirit really there to do it? As much and more people say, why do we have a monarchy? Is there really the will in the population to go through that schism?
It's been done in other countries.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. I know.
Charles' relationship with Canada stretches back to his first official visit in 1970, which included touring Manitoba and the Northwest Territories with other members of the royal family. Time now to check the markets with about an hour left in the closing day. It is green across the board. The TSX gained about 108 points to 19,349. The Dow is up 78 points to 31,659. NASDAQ is up just 6 points, 11,798. Oil up $1.28 to $83.22 a barrel, and our dollar is up about 0.2 pennies now, quoted at 76.40 cents U.S. The time is 3:04. Classical FM weather, a beautiful afternoon, sunny, hot and humid, clear and 15 tonight. Much the same for tomorrow, sunny, hot and humid, and for Saturday. And then by Sunday, there is some cloud cover with the chance of showers, a high 26. In Toronto right now, we sit at 26 degrees with a 29-degree humidex. In Cobourg, 23, feels more like 26. And in Collingwood this hour, 22 degrees, feels more like 27 degrees. I'm Christine Ross. News next at 4 o'clock on the new Classical FM.
The new Classical 96.3 FM, CFMZ Toronto. the new Classical 103.1 FM, CFMX Coburg, and the new Classical 102.9 FM, CFMO Collingwood, are owned and operated by MZ Media Incorporated.
The New London Orchestra and music of Albert W. Kittelby, the English composer, Bells Across the Meadow. here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM in Toronto, the GTA, Collingwood, throughout the southern Georgian Bay, and all points in between within southern Ontario, eastern Ontario, and Cobourg. Welcome to you, western New York, and of course across the globe at classicalfm.ca. My name is Mark Wigmore, 10 minutes after 3 o'clock on this Thursday, and we've got a different show happening today than we thought was set out. We were getting set to welcome Perrin Leach, General Director from the COC, talk about the film festival opening. All happening, all things happening in the city, but I, like you, received the news this morning. I got an update on my phone from the New York Times letting us know that the Queen's health was in certainly some interest for the doctors on hand at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, which is her favorite place to be by many accounts over the years. And I thought, well, this is a woman who's faced so much adversity, whether it be within the royal family, whether it be through governments, politics, conflicts around the world, her own health at times. And this is a woman who is resilient. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then later this afternoon or around midday, finding out that family had gathered at the castle, and then receiving the news about 90 minutes ago, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And we're going to spend the day today hearing from you. We're going to play music to note this incredible moment in history, I think, for humanity, for the monarchy, for the UK, and certainly here in Canada as part of the Commonwealth. This is a day that we will all remember. And the culture has diffused over the last 20, 30 years, right? With the way media has dispersed and the way that we have a shared understanding of the world. And so the Queen was something that we could all share together. It's something for better, for worse, and in how we might feel about a monarchy and so on. The Queen has been with us, for most of us, through all of our lives. And so it is a shared moment across the world right now, and certainly here in Toronto and across southern Ontario. So we're going to get to music. We're going to open the phone lines if you'd like to share stories today, 416-963-5996. And the music of Rafe Vaughan Williams very shortly, but this is John Rutter's The Lord Bless You and Keep You, the meditation. Just a beautiful piece of music, and Vaughan Williams' Fantasia on a theme of Thomas Tallis, the London Philharmonic Orchestra in performance. Ahead of that, Katrine Finch performing on harp with Symphonia Cymru, and The Lord Bless You and Keep You, the meditation and the music of English composer John Rutter. Certainly we'll be spending a lot of time in the UK, in Scotland, and with some Irish music as well today as we note the passing of Queen Elizabeth II here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM. I'll point out, too, that this is such fresh news. There's a lot of reaction coming in from around the world, and certainly the Prime Minister has spoken. In the UK, leaders are speaking. There are people gathering at Buckingham Palace, thousands. And the world is reflecting on this incredible moment in history. We're going to hear from you coming up in just a few moments. People have been calling through. Thank you for all the calls already. And we're going to get to more music as well. Mozart very shortly. We'll hear music from Leonard Cohen as well. Percy Granger's Blithe Bells. And as the world prepares for King Charles here at 3:23. You're with the Oasis, the new Classical FM. Clear skies tonight, the low 15 degrees in the GTA. Just a touch cooler outside the city. Sunny and 27 for your Friday. The humidex into the early 30s. Saturday, sunny and 27. Looks to be a nice beginning of the weekend. 26 degrees right now in Toronto, 23 in Cobourg and Collingwood. Let's get a check on the commute.
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. We've got a couple things on the go and a really busy start to the rush hour. We've got trouble on the 400 southbound in the express at Langstaff. There's a crash blocking the right lane. 401 eastbound collectors at Islington, stalled vehicle in the left lane. In the city, we've got trouble Don Mills just south of the 401. There's a crash getting cleaned up. Problems getting cleared away at Markham Road and Ellesmere. And Davenport Road is closed between Dufferin and Dovercourt for a fire investigation. Earning a little extra doesn't have to be hard. Open a Simply Financial no-fee checking account. Enter $350. Conditions apply. Visit simply.com for details. I'm Lori Turcott with traffic on the new Classical FM.
Your home sold guaranteed. Frank Leo of RE/MAX has a multi-million-dollar marketing system to get sold guaranteed, or Frank will buy it. Go to getleo.com. That's getleo.com and start packing.
The secret is out about the Van Ryck experience.
Alec Van Ryck of Van Ryck Jewelers.
People have obviously told their friends and family and their loved ones, when you have that special piece you'd like to buy for that special occasion, be it a 40th or 50th anniversary, or that special watch that you'd like to buy on graduation for somebody you love, the store to come and see is the one and only Van Ryck.
Van Ryck Jewelers on Eglinton, 1 block east of Yonge. Call 416-440-0123.
This is Alan Green with breaking news from the Canada News Network. Phytoplankton mania has officially begun across Canada. Tens of thousands of Canadians now start their day by taking Karen Phytoplankton. The demand is so high for phytoplankton that Karen Phytoplankton is having a can't-miss sale of 20% off all products on their website, thekarenproject.ca. In related news, it is now confirmed the Karen meme was created to distract people from knowing about phytoplankton. Thekarenproject.ca, and pick up Karen Phytoplankton today.
Travel is back, and 55 Plus travel insurance pre-season savings are here. Last year's rates are still available on single and multi-trip plans, so lock in your rate, pack your bags, and go. 55 Plus travel insurance is offered by the McLennan Group, the 55 Plus insurance specialists. Visit 55plustravelinsurance.ca for complete details and your no-obligation quote. That's 55plustravelinsurance.ca.
Be transported into a story of passion, intrigue, and adventure as the Toronto Symphony Orchestra performs Rimsky-Korsakov's bewitching Scheherazade inspired by Arabian Nights. Also experience Chopin's tender and exquisite Piano Concerto No. 2, performed by Canadian pianist Bruce Liu. Music director Gustavo Jimeno leads the concerts which open the TSO's landmark 100th season, September 21st, 22nd, and 24th at Roy Thompson Hall. For tickets, visit tso.ca.
With the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite Card, you can get 5 times the points on more of the things you love. That means more nights out, more weekend escapes, more living in the moment, more getting lost.
Make a U-turn.
Or maybe less of that. Get more out of life with the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite Card. Apply now and get up to 60,000 points. Terms and conditions apply. Visit bmo.com for details.
A new school year is the perfect excuse to get new stuff. You already know textbooks are going to be capital E expensive, so why not save on a new phone with Fido's back-to-school deals? We've got the latest devices, mobile plans, and much more to help you get through the semester, whether you're pulling all-nighters in the library or chilling with your friends on campus. And thanks to data overage protection, you'll never have to worry about going over your limit. So what are you waiting for? Go get your back-to-school deal now by visiting us in-store or at fido.ca.
Mark's This Is Big event is on now. Until September 14th, save up to 60% on a wide selection of styles perfect for fall, including Levi's jeans and clothing at 40% off. Mark's This Is Big event on now at marksandmarks.com.
Spend and save at PetSmart. From September 8th to 11th, spend $99 and save $10. Plus, activate and earn 5,000 bonus points worth $12.50 in savings on your next purchase. Terms apply. See store or PetSmart.ca for details.
Connecting with you where other music can't reach. This is the new Classical 96.3 FM. Where classical musicians come to play and to work. The new Classical 96.3 FM.
pretty piece of music from Percy Grainger, the Australian composer, his Blithe Bells, the free ramble on a theme by Bach here on the Oasis here. The new Classical FM 332. It's Mark Wigmore here and the Bournemouth Sinfonietta in performance with the famous folk settings recording. Well, it is a day of remembrance. The world is reacting to the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. We got the news about 2 hours ago. Of course, we noted in the morning that the doctors were watching her and in Scotland at Balmoral Castle, where she eventually passed. Family around her. We now have King Charles III, and he has spoken. There have been statements put out from leaders all around the world, including here in Canada. And we asked you to give us a call and let us know some of the stories and memories you want to share of Queen Elizabeth on this day where the world is taking notice and reacting. And so I did open the lines. The number is 416-963-5996. And so we've got Rodney on the line and from Pontypool, Ontario. And Rodney, you have a story you wanted to share.
Yes, this was back in 1960. I was in the armed forces and I was stationed in Nunavut, Northwest Territories. The royal family came up for a visit, and Her Majesty and the family were staying at a hotel there called the Mackenzie Hotel, and I was part of the guard system surrounding the hotel, which we didn't think anything would happen, but we were there anyway. Anyway, it got to be later in the day, and there was quite a downpour of rain. We were standing out in our greatcoats, as they called them, soaking wet, and apparently there was a message came down from Her Majesty to get shelter and hot drinks for the guards. And this just choked me up. It still does. I miss her. I'm sorry I'm getting a little choked here. It's a long time ago, but my feelings towards the Queen, shall we say, increased 1,000-fold that day. To think that she was in the warm, saw us out there freezing cold. We had vehicles come that we could sit in, and we were served hot coffee, and it ended up to be a marvelous day. And from that point on, I saw her throughout the visit up there. There was her, Charles, Princess Anne, and a few others. But the passing of her today hits me hard because she was a lady.
I think those are the types of stories we're going to be hearing throughout the day today. And Rodney, a lot of people have that experience of seeing the Queen, maybe even lucky enough to meet the Queen, but very few people have that experience where something meaningful happened because of the Queen. A very specific experience for you, and it's really, really special that you decided to give us a call and share that. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and God bless the King now, I guess. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you get as nice a story as I've been telling you and nobody's out there with hate.
Absolutely. There goes Rodney, and from Pontypool, Ontario. Thank you, Rodney, for that call. 3:35, you're with the Oasis here on the new Classical FM. 416-963-5996, and the music of Gustav Holst. This is the country song. English composer Gustav Holst and our composer of the week on A Little Night Music with Kathleen Kajioka. The country song, the City of London Sinfonia in performance. And here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM, it is 3:40. My name is Mark Wigmore. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon, a somber afternoon, as we are looking back at the last nearly century of Queen Elizabeth II, who we learned just a couple hours ago. We learned that she has passed at the age of 96. Doctors, obviously, there on hand at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, family on hand, statements being made around the world. By the way, if you'd like to learn more about the latest updates, the latest reaction, everythingzoomer.com is the place to visit. Just full of information, great history there, and just a real resource for you as we head into the afternoon. And we'll continue. We'll hear music from Mozart very shortly, Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. And Martin waiting on the line, who had some memories to share. And we just had a great memory from Rodney, so thank you for that. Having a look at the forecast. Clear skies tonight. Things haven't changed much since we just received an update from Environment Canada. The low 14 in the GTA. Fog being called for overnight now. Touch cooler outside the city limits. Sunny and 27 for your Friday. Humidex into the early 30s. Saturday, sunny and 27 again, except for Collingwood. A few clouds there. Slight chance of a shower that day. 26 degrees right now, 23 in Cobourg and Collingwood, and a check on the commute.
It's the Lexus F Sport event at Lexus of Richmond Hill. Lease a 2022 RX 350 all-wheel drive F Sport at 3.3% for 39 months. That's just $348 plus tax bi-weekly. Details at lexusofrichmondhill.com.
Now we have a handful of problems. 403 eastbound on the Express at Eglinton. There's a crash blocking the right lane. And eastbound on the 403 in the Express to Collector Transfers, left lane is also blocked. 401 eastbound before Highway 25. Left lane is blocked with a crash. You're back up almost all the way now from about Guelph line. In the city, we've got a collision getting cleared away. Don Mills just south of the 401. And Davenport Road, it's shut down between Dufferin and Dovercourt for a fire investigation. Car expenses can add up. One way to control costs is to get a complimentary policy review by CAA Insurance. Visit CAA Insurance online to get started. I'm Lori Turcott with traffic on the new Classical FM.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Kajioka. Join me every weeknight for A Little Night Music. Evenings packed with familiar favorites and uncovered gems, brilliant composers, and powerful performers, all presented from my musician's eye view. We'll hear the latest with our new track After 9 and savor nightly picks from the Kajioka collection. Plus, get to know our composer of the week. This week, Gustav Holst. Famous for his orchestral suite, The Planets, he took up trombone as a child to cure his asthma. He would grow up to become a musical seeker and teacher, reflecting his spiritual explorations in his music and leveling the playing field for women through his work as a music education pioneer in his native England. That's A Little Night Music, the perfect soundtrack to your evening, handpicked with expert care. Weeknights from 7 to 11, right here on the new Classical FM.
The irresistibly charming smash hit musical Singin' in the Rain is coming to Toronto for 4 weeks only. Based on the iconic film, this all-tapping, all-splashing show is guaranteed to put a smile on your face and features the glorious MGM score, including the legendary title song. Don't miss Singin' in the Rain, making a splash at the Princess of Wales Theatre from September 23rd through October 23rd. Book at mervish.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, get started at Planet Fitness for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Get started at Planet Fitness today. $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th. $39 annual fee applies. See club for details.
Hi, I'm Cherry Tab, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. We're all longing for life to be normal. And here's how Herzig is helping. We are operating at normal capacity, no long wait times. You could have normal vision again. No more glasses or reading glasses. No more cataracts or contact lenses. Google Herzig Eye Institute. Learn about our world-class surgeons in Toronto and Ottawa. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Look after yourself. Promise me.
Ah, are you kidding me? Out of ink?
Megatank.
That's the last time. What's that printer that comes with 30 times the ink of standard printers?
Megatank.
It's a Canon. Megaton?
Megatank.
Yeah, it's a Canon printer. It comes with like $2,000 worth of ink compared to Canon ink cartridges.
Mega Tank.
Megalodon?
Listen to the voice in your head and get a Canon Megatank printer so you don't have to think about ink for a long, long time. Canon Megatank printers available at Staples, The Source, and Walmart.
Over 1 million Zoomer readers say they love to try new foods. Are you one? Okay, but how about food as art? Yes, edible art is here, and Zoomer has it. How about a cocktail that belongs in an art gallery? Or commissioning sculptures in food? Or jelly versions of architecture? Or a man who's been dubbed the Michael Jordan of pastry? Feast your eyes and indulge only in Zoomer with Deborah Cox on the cover on newsstands now. Zoomer Magazine. Life empowered.
Be transported into a story of passion, intrigue, and adventure as the Toronto Symphony Orchestra performs Rimsky-Korsakov's bewitching Scheherazade inspired by Arabian Nights. Also experience Chopin's tender and exquisite Piano Concerto No. 2 performed by Canadian pianist Bruce Liu. Music director Gustavo Jimeno leads the concerts which open the TSO's landmark 100th season, September 21st, 22nd, and 24th at Roy Thompson Hall. For tickets, visit tso.ca.
Saturday's Lotto 649 draw is the last draw before the new Lotto 649 launch, and all jackpot prizing will be awarded. Get your ticket today.
Music of Mozart, and they're performed by Libra, the UK vocal ensemble from the album Peace. And we heard Ave Virgo based on Mozart's clarinet concerto. Here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM 350, we've got a 4 o'clock news update for you very shortly with Christine Ross. Weather update, traffic update as well. But we have opened the phone lines today, 416-963-5996, as we're reflecting on nearly 100 years, nearly a century of Queen Elizabeth II. We learned hours ago that she has passed at the age of 96, surrounded by family. And it's just an incredible day where the world is reflecting. And so we've opened the lines, and we've got Martin on the line, who grew up in the UK. And Martin, you had some stories you wanted to share here today.
Oh, yes, I got more than a story or two. So I'm very blessed, and I'm very fortunate and very fond memories of meeting the Queen 16 times. And so my first time from recollection is when I received my Queen Scout Award. And normally that's given by a commissioner. But for some reason that year, when it was when I obtained my Queen Scout Award, it was given at Buckingham Palace, and the Queen actually gave the certificate to me in my hand and shook my hand, which I was very honoured. And that took me on to the Queen Scout Parade every year. All the Queen Scouts that graduate every year in the UK get the chance to go down to Windsor and march in front of the Queen on St. George's Day, the patron saint of England. And I, because I was trained in marching, was given 5 years of leading troops of Queen Scouts, marching them around the centre of Windsor Castle. So that was very, very memorable to me. And then because of that, I was also at the Remembrance Day service, the very solemn service in Whitehall, where the Queen, all dressed in black, and all the other royal family in their military uniforms, came out and put the wreaths on the cenotaph in Whitehall near Downing Street. And so the Queen Scout lined the route where they walked out of the Home Office to the cenotaph. So I was there for 5 years, which was a very great honour. And then finally, I was a London Bobby, and who and behold was the ceremonial person to accept our inauguration into the Metropolitan Police was the Queen, and that only happens once every 3 years. So I guess I graduated in the right time at the right year.
Martin, let me ask you this. As a child growing up in the UK, I mean, I saw the Queen in Victoria, BC growing up. It was a big thrill for me. I was standing with my grandmother. As a child in the UK, being so close to the monarchy, I mean, that must have been a real experience.
Oh, yeah, because I was born not too long after, you're going to get my age now, but even not too long after World War II, when the UK was still recovering, and the Queen, the royal family generally, were very instrumental in rallying the UK population back to form after such a devastating war, financially and infrastructure-wise and emotionally. So they were there. They appeared to be there when I was a kid for everybody and anybody.
Very special memory. And Martin, we're so pleased you took the time to give us a call here this afternoon.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I have very, very fond memories of the Queen. I'm very sad today.
Indeed. And thank you, Martin. Wonderful call, wonderful memories. And special memories. I mean, gosh, we mentioned this earlier in the program as well, that we don't live in a time of shared experience in the same way that we used to. The world has fractured in so many different ways, culturally, politically, but we all had an image of the Queen. We had perhaps experienced meeting her or waving at her. We had certainly, for most of us, she's been around as long as we've been around. And so this is such an incredible day for not only this country and the UK and the Commonwealth, but really for humanity as we understand what civilizations do, and an incredible moment in history. So once again, the numbers to call, 416-963-5996. And we'll get to a news update shortly. This is the music of Leonard Cohen. There's a young performer we will be putting extra focus on next week as he releases what is sure to be a blockbuster recording for the fall season. Sheku Mason, the UK cellist from his album Inspiration. The new album Song will be released tomorrow, and it will be our Talk of the Town album throughout the week next week. But apropos, here this afternoon to hear Leonard Cohen's Alleluia as we are reflecting on a moment in history, as we have learned, of course, a couple hours ago of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Christine Ross joining me in studio here this afternoon. Christine, as you've been busy over the last couple hours, and
it's been pretty busy.
Yeah, but I mean, as you're seeing the reaction, as you're seeing, as you're putting together these casts, I mean, what are you reflecting on in this moment? What are you seeing the world saying in this moment?
It's it's funny. Everyone is trying to share their personal connection to
Sure.
the Queen, and I remember I lived in Kingston for many years, and when she visited in I can't even tell you the exact year, but it was in the early '80s.
Right.
We rushed down to the waterfront. She was on a tall ship sailing through. Had just come from Ottawa, and it was incredibly exciting. We weren't close. We couldn't see her that well, but just the feeling and the buzz among the people who were there on shore watching and waving and getting the royal wave back, it was unreal. And it's just, it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that she has been queen for longer than many people can even remember. 70 years.
Sure. My entire lifetime. And yours.
Yeah.
And it's one of I have the same memory. I might have been that same Canadian tour. I remember the ship, or I guess you wouldn't call it a ship, but it was what she came in on to the Victoria Harbor in Victoria, BC, where I grew up. And I remember being at the bottom of my grandmother's street, which was a small street in Victoria near the gorge. And I just waited there holding her hand. And I remember waving, and I was convinced that Queen Elizabeth looked right at me when she was waving.
Maybe she did.
And it was such a special moment. And I just think of what ties us together is these figures in history and these moments in history. But I can't help but think of, just taking that little bit of time each and every Christmas to hear that message from her. And that's not a message we're going to be hearing ever again from her. It'll be Charles the Third.
In my lifetime growing up in elementary school, she was an omnipresent presence. Her photograph loomed large everywhere in the school gym, in the classrooms. I mean, she was literally a part of the fabric of Canada.
It's true, absolutely. All right, lots more to come. We'll get to your calls. We'll get to more music as we note this historic day. 4:01, it's Christine Ross.
Thank you, Mark. 26 degrees. Feels like 29 under the sunshine. Clear tonight. Fog develops after midnight, a low 14. Tomorrow and Friday, gorgeous days. Sunny and warm, a high both days around 27. Will feel more like 32. Flags have been lowered across the country, including at Queen's Park and Toronto City Hall, following this afternoon's passing of Queen Elizabeth at the age of 96. Premier Doug Ford says she taught people the true meaning of selfless service and was respected for her sense of duty and commitment to charity.
Reigning as the longest-serving monarch in the history of our nation. Even with her many responsibilities, the Queen always held a special place in her heart for Canada, having made 22 official visits to our shores throughout her life.
Mayor John Tory says in a statement that her legacy will live on through her relationship with this country, province, and the city over the years, and the length of time she has been our Queen, together with her commitment to the Commonwealth. As for the world remembers the only British monarch that many have ever known, here is Elizabeth from 1947, when she had these words on her 21st birthday.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong. But I shall not have strength to carry out this resolution alone, unless you join in it with me, as I now invite you to do. I know that your support will be unfailingly given. God help me to make good my vow, and God bless all of you who are willing to share in it.
4 years later, in 1951, the young princess visited Toronto in place of her ailing father, King George. And during that visit, she and Prince Philip were greeted by excited crowds, experiencing a quintessential Toronto tradition, watching a Leafs game at Maple Leaf Gardens. Her first visit to the city as Queen was in 1959 during a tour of Canada, when she also took in the 100th running of the Queen's Plate at Woodbine Racetrack. The Queen would return to Toronto in 1973, 1984, 1997, 2002, and 2010 for the last time. In Ottawa, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says she was one of his favorite people and had an obvious love for Canada, adding she was thoughtful, wise, curious, helpful, funny, and he will miss their chats.
Canada is in mourning. She was one of my favorite people in the world, and I will miss her so.
During that time, Elizabeth saw 15 British prime ministers come and go, including the newest, Liz Truss.
It's an extraordinary achievement to have presided with such dignity and grace for 70 years. Her life of service stretched beyond most of our living memories. In return, she was loved and admired by the people in the United Kingdom and all around the world.
Canada's Governor-General Mary Simon took to Twitter offering her deepest condolences to the royal family, saying Canadians will mourn her loss. Prince Charles immediately becomes king. At 73, he is the oldest ever to assume the British throne. He'll be known as King Charles III. No date has been set for his coronation. His wife, 75-year-old Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, will be known as Queen Consort, a title that came with the late Queen's blessing after many years of contention since she was Charles' second wife. And the death of Canada's longest-serving head of state has cast a pall over the opening day of the Toronto Film Festival. CEO Cameron Bailey says in a series of tweets that the festival understands many attendees will be deeply affected by the death of the Queen. He says TIFF is working with film partners who may be affected, but it's not clear if or how the festival will alter its plans to respond to the Queen's death. Festivities kick off tonight on King Street West, also known as Festival Street, where Buffy Sainte-Marie is set to perform. Classical FM weather: clear tonight, fog after midnight, a low 14. Tomorrow and Friday, sunny and warm. High both days 27, will feel like 32. Some cloud cover on Sunday, 40% chance of showers, a high 28. In Toronto now, 26 degrees. It's 23 degrees in both Cobourg and Collingwood. I'm Christine Ross. News next at 5 o'clock on the new Classical FM.
Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM. Nicola Benedetti, the violinist, with the BBC Concert Orchestra, and Rory MacDonald conducting, taking us to 4:11. On this historic afternoon here in Canada, all around the world, certainly in the UK, where thousands have gathered around Buckingham Palace. And certainly that was a spot, Loch Lomond and Balmoral Castle, very near and dear to the Queen's heart. That is where she decided to spend a lot of her free time, and a place that she loved dearly, and it's where she passed away. And we are reflecting on her life and her influence, and 100 years, nearly 100 years of Elizabeth on this planet throughout the afternoon. And so we are taking your calls as well. If you have memories to share throughout the afternoon, 416-963-5996. And we'll get to a traffic and weather update for you very shortly. But right now, let's hear music from Frederick Delius, the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields. This is The Walk to the Paradise Garden. beautiful piece of music to take us to 4:20 here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM. Frederick Delius, his Walk to the Paradise Garden, and the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, the UK ensemble led by Sir Neville Mariner. My name is Mark Wigmore. Great to be with you at 4:21, and we are reflecting on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II today and noting the world changing, the world reacting. King Charles III is not only incoming, but here. And so we are taking your calls. We are taking a somber tone with the program today and enjoying music from the region. And we'll get to Isabel next, who met the Queen in Portugal growing up in the 1950s. She's on the line with that story. Having a look at the forecast, it's looking pretty nice the next couple days. Clear skies tonight, the low 14 in the GTA. Fog overnight, a little cooler outside the GTA. Sunny and 27 for Friday. Humidex into the early 30s. Still summer. And Saturday, sunny and 27 again. Collingwood, a few clouds that day. Slight chance of a shower. 25 degrees in Toronto right now. 22 in Cobourg. 23 in Collingwood. And a check on the commute.
Hey, right now, we've got a couple of trouble spots in Mississauga and in Milton, creating massive delays. 403 eastbound in the Express at Eglinton. The right lane is blocked with a crash. Left lane is blocked in the Express to collector transfer. So it's absolutely jammed all the way from about Credit View. Eastbound on the 401 before Highway 25, crash in the left lane. And your delay, you're hitting the brakes from well before Guelph line. Now, we've got problems on the 404 northbound approaching the 407. Crash on the left shoulder, may have a lane taken out once emergency crews arrive on scene. In the city, we've got a new problem getting cleaned up. There's a crash on Lawrence Avenue just east of Yonge. The customer appreciation event is on at Leon's this weekend only. Shop their best offers of the year, plus win exciting prizes in every store. Visit leons.ca for details. I'm Laurie Turcotte with traffic on the new Classical FM.
Thank you, Laurie, and Mark Wigmore with you on this Thursday for Jiffy On Demand. Jiffy Fast and Reliable Home Maintenance. What needs done around your home right now? You can call up the website, jiffyondemand.com. Very simple to have a look at the interface there. You can use the app as well, the Jiffy app. Look at the options. They're all laid out beautifully. Handyman services, decks, fences, heating, cooling, appliance repair, plumbing, electrical, AC units. What's on that list? Don't forget to use the promo code CLASSICAL. That's easy to remember. And that gets you $25 off your first job. Jiffy, fast and reliable home maintenance, and be sure to have a look at the Jiffy Plus option as well. That's even more savings.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. ziprecruiter.ca/Canada.
Early involvement with music can contribute to a child's intellectual growth.
I can unequivocally assert the validity of that statement.
Ask the trusted experts at Long & McQuaid Musical Instruments about their full line of guitars, strings, brass, woodwinds, drums, and keyboards. Our music lesson centers offer lessons in person or online for all levels, ages, and styles.
I actually feel myself getting smarter.
Long & McQuaid, where the music begins. Go to long-mcquaid.com for details.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, get started at Planet Fitness for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Get started at Planet Fitness today. $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th. $39 annual fee applies. See Club for details.
Until the 20th of September, live and listen to all the magic of an Air France rendezvous.
Whoa.
It's time to book your rendezvous with Paris, starting at $895, or Mauritius, starting at $1,229 return. From Toronto, tax included. Enjoy a glass of champagne however you fly. Economy included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Travel between September 18th, 2022 and June 17th, 2023. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
I had a gentleman come in with his daughter and they had a sapphire and diamond ring, platinum diamond ring to sell, and this heirloom was a difficult one to part with.
Alec Van Ryk of Van Ryk Jewelers.
He was very, very happy about the transaction, even parting with an heirloom that was very dear to them. He felt that he was dealing with reputation and honesty, and that made me feel very special.
Van Ryk Jewelers on Eglinton, 1 block east of Yonge. Call 416-440-0123.
Curated for you from Canada's most complete classical music collection. This is the new Classical 96.3 FM.
Thoughtful music on this day of remembrance. J.S. Bach's Orchestral Suite number 3 in D. We know it as Air and Academy für Alte Musik Berlin, taking us to 4:31. You're with the Oasis here on the new Classical FM. My name is Mark Wigmore. So wonderful to receive all the calls that we have just over the last couple hours here on the show, but as well during the Jukebox with Daniel, and we'll continue to keep the lines open. We'll get to a business update very shortly, but the number to keep in mind, 416-963-5996, as we note this incredible and momentous day in history, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. You've been sharing your stories. We've heard from people who've lived in the UK, here in Canada, stories of the visits that happened by the royal family here in Canada. Let's get to another one. And Isabel, you have a story you wanted to share.
Yes, this is a very plain story, but I think it means a lot to me. In 1957, many years ago, right, I was in Portugal, my country. I was 19 years old, and Queen Elizabeth came to visit Portugal. And it's unbelievable that she chose my small town of 10,000 people to visit.
Wow.
And all the town was outside. Not one person was inside of the house. Everyone was by the beach, by the square. And, you know, I never forget that day. I dressed up in the costume of my hometown because I wanted to present the Queen with my beautiful clothes from Nazareth, right? And as she was there, she was waving to us. And I never forget that. 1957, that she took the time to visit this small fishing village called Nazareth.
I love the idea, too, that brought out the best in you, that brought out your patriotism and your pride in your home by having that visit.
Yes, now my town is very well known all over the world because the biggest surfing waves now are in Nazareth. But then no one knew that town. It was so small, 10,000 people, fishing village, very poor people. And to have the Queen there, do you know how much this meant to us?
This is a day we're hearing these types of stories, and Isabel, we're so thrilled that you decided to give us a call. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening to my story.
Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. contemplative Eric Satie in the Nocturne number 2. We heard Pascal Roger, the pianist, here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM. Head of that, Alicia Weilerstein, the cellist with Staatskapelle Berlin, and the music of Edward Elgar, his iconic cello concerto in E minor. And we heard the Adagio, taking us to 4:40. The Oasis here on the new Classical FM. And reflecting on this historic day around the world, world leaders certainly commenting, certainly here in Ontario, throughout Canada, the Prime Minister and the Premier have made comments on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, and we are keeping a somber tone today. We're not really getting to features and so on, but instead turning it over to you and your wonderful calls. Thank you to everybody who has reached out thus far. Ray in Burlington next with quite the story, and we'll look forward to sharing that with you in just a few moments. Let's have a look at what's happening weather-wise. Clear skies tonight. Nice summer 48 hours here, down to 14 degrees in Toronto. Fog overnight, touch cooler outside the GTA. Sunny and 27 for tomorrow. Humidex into the early 30s. And Saturday, sunny and 27 again, except for Collingwood. You'll see a few clouds, slight chance of a shower. 25 degrees in Toronto right now, 22 in Cobourg, 23 in Collingwood, and checking the commute.
Oh, just one trouble spot to be aware of. If you're heading out on the highways, it's really busy this afternoon, but we have problems on the 401 westbound. The express to collector transfers at Warden blocked because of a stalled vehicle. Everywhere else, it's busy, but so far so good. Let's hope we can keep it that way. In the city, we've got one crash getting cleaned up right now. That's on Lawrence Avenue, just east of Yonge Street. Live life at your pace when you accelerate in the sublime Infiniti QX55. Visit your local retailer or infinity.ca today. I'm Lori Turcott with traffic on the new Classical FM.
4:42 on this Thursday, and the world keeps turning. A look at business headlines right now with Anthony Acolia, Money Talk Markets editor with TD Wealth. And Anthony, it was an up day on the markets, but a little choppy.
Yeah, it was a bit